Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's Monday. It's time for our paranormal palooza.
We're going to go back fucking do some haunting episodes of the massive Season 6, all 4 episodes of Season 6.
Yeah, what the fuck was
Earth-shattering Season 6.
It was just such a why bother season. I mean, I'm not saying that the 4 episodes weren't good, because they are. Right, They're entertaining.
They're well made, too.
I just kind of feel like...
Six
I guess that was all they ordered, because they're like, yeah, we're canceling this shit. But they didn't, though, because they kept going.
Kept going.
Like, maybe that was when they moved it. I think that was when they moved it, maybe, because didn't it start on Discovery, and then it went to Destination America?
And it got sold a couple times through companies that were owned it. But I think it was still the same people producing it. It was the same actors, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah.
But the ownership changed.
That must have been that. But I mean, that's what they usually do when they're like, let's only make 4 episodes. That means they're canceling.
Something's wrong,
But they must have, like, gone through another thing. Because I think we have Season 7 as well, right?
I think we got them all up to 9, don't we?
Well, we have Season 7 on physical media.
Yeah.
Because I remember buying that for you a long time ago. And I think we have Season 8, like, in digital. Okay. Like, I think we bought that.
All right.
And we might have bought... I don't remember if we bought 9 or if we bought, like, a later one, like 11 or something. I don't know. But we still have, like, a bunch that we haven't done.
Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you can buy most of the seasons. Like
sometimes it says currently not available. It's got listed, but it just says not available. You don't know what the fuck's up.
Yeah.
It's like they lost the contract to sell it.
Yeah, it's always a rights issue.
Yeah. What would happen if you bought it and then they lose the rights? Does it disappear out of your catalog, or do you still have access? Yeah, you still have access. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't. Yeah. You should have it. But yeah, so we do have Season 6 as far as it goes. Yeah. And this was another Blame the Goths episode.
Yeah, that's right. The Goths brought in demons this time.
It's always us.
They were killing cats and everything.
Yeah, after that, I was just like, no Goth worth their salt would kill a cat.
Yeah,
no. That's not how that works.
I think they were heavy metal kids, if that. Or the whole thing's made up. This is another one where there's not enough. Well, there's not enough even in a lot of the other ones to know for sure.
Right.
It's just there's not a lot of witnesses outside the event itself. It's not as good as Donnie Deckard, where wardens and fucking, what do you call them? Damn.
Cops and shit like that.
Yeah, what do you call it? Jail. What are the jail dudes? What do they call them?
Jail dudes.
Who are the jail dudes called? Screws. No, what do you call them? Fucking prison guards.
Yeah.
They saw it, It was like people from the clergy saw it. So that's better when you have people that are kind of outside the family situation. Because you call in a paranormal investigator, they're going to find some paranormal shit.
Well, yeah, that's kind of their whole bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Murder Hornet just put 3 little iterations of the famous icon, so that means that I have to do this.
Where is that raccoon?
Okay, there it is.
Where is that raccoon?
Do it again.
We do it again?
Well, he did it 3 times.
Oh. Where is that raccoon?
There you go.
I hit it again, but it didn't do it.
It didn't do it again?
I guess because you have to click off of it, and then I don't know how the fuck this works, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like flying by the seat of my pants here, but yeah.
What's up, Tammy?
Hey, everybody.
Sebastian's in there.
Hey, everybody.
Yep.
Murder Hornet said, holy shit, it's hot here. I mean, yeah, it's hot here, too. I went out and sat in my car at lunchtime, and I was like, oh my god, I think I'm going to fucking die out here.
Yeah.
I had to go back in.
The people she works with, they bring dogs to work, and one of the dog came in and just shit on the fucking carpet right in front of her.
Yeah, it was pretty special.
I had to clean it up. Like I said, the smell was fucking bothering her.
And it wasn't just like a solid shit either. It was like running diarrhea shit.
People bringing dogs to work.
Right in the middle of the carpet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, I'm just going to go in here and puke for a minute.
Yep.
Thanks a lot. So, yeah. And they actually let me go home early because...
Because of the smell?
Yeah. Well, they cleaned it, but then, like, she came in. It was the owner's dog. And she's kind of like, well, I'm going to, run the vacuum and, like, the cleaner and everything like that. She's like, so... Yeah. And I don't want anybody in here when I do it.
Okay, yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I can leave because I kind of feel like I'm going to heave anyway. And, like, the woman in the next office kept, like, spraying fucking Lysol and Febreze, like, everywhere and shit like that. It was terrible. I'm like, and I'm sitting there going...
They're going to have to put a diaper on that dog.
I was like, I can't believe this is my fucking life. Oh, my God.
Yep.
This is like, it's fucking terrible.
We got approved for StreamMate.
We did, just today. Yep. It took a while because I like a dumbass, it was taking a really long time, and I was like, and finally I sent them a message like, why is it taking so long? Because I'd heard that it took a long time to get approval, and they were like, oh, well, because you registered as a couple, but you didn't put, the other person's like
ID
stuff up, and I was like, oh, I didn't see any place where you could do that, so I just assumed that would like I would get approved first, and then so I uploaded his stuff, and then I had to upload like proof of address, so I had to put like a bank statement and shit like that, and that took a couple of days, but today they said that we're approved, so we can go.
So we're going to start building. It's not going to go live. It's going to take time because we got to put stuff on it. We got to set shit up. The Twitter's got to be connected to it, so it's going to be another week probably.
Yeah,
but we might do some test streams.
Yeah, we might do a test and see like how it works and stuff like that. Like maybe this week.
We got to go in there and see how everything works and fucking make sure that our set, because we're going to use a different set. We're going to make sure that looks good and figure out the fastest way to set that up so we can convert between this set and that set. Because this is a studio in here.
Yeah.
And it looks totally different that direction.
Yeah.
If you turn the camera that way, it looks a lot better. It's got these evil curtains and shit.
Evil curtains.
Yeah, red fucking gothic curtains and stuff.
I know, I love those. And they weren't expensive either. I got them on Amazon. They were like $18 or something.
They're like fucking satanic funeral home over there. With like
That's kind of my whole aesthetic.
Yeah, with like an evil mirror fucking surrounded with fucking skulls, and on the top it's got a skull, it's got ram horns on it, and red candles and shit, and dildos.
Yeah, the dildos underneath it.
It's fucking funny.
But see, that's what I mean. We have all this kind of stuff in here. We're just asking for demon possession, I guess. Like,
we're not getting it.
At least according to this.
Yeah, demons don't show up. Maybe occasional poltergeist activity, but
demons scared of me, I think.
Yeah. I'm the only demon around here.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think demons be like, we can't even compete with that. It's like, don't even bother.
This post is manned already.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with this case, Jim.
All right, season 6, episode 3, just called Black Magic.
Yeah.
So the woman at the center of this, a single mom named Debbie Guy. Now, this takes place in presumably a small town, because I'd never heard of it, called Zieglersville, Pennsylvania. Now, she buys this house that's 150 years old. This happened back in 2009, I guess, like when she bought the house at first. So it's on like over an acre of land. Like I said, it's an old house, but she had always really wanted one like that. And I guess even though she's a single mom, she had like been saving up like for years and years, and this is like her big dream, like to buy a house, and she's just like can't believe she finally did it. Now, moving in with her, she also has a 28-year-old son named David, a 26-year-old daughter named Jody, and Jody has 2 kids. She has a daughter that's 5 named Zoe, and a son that's 7 named Craig. And then they also have this random 17-year-old who I guess is not related to anybody. I guess like the way he was just like a family friend or someone that they knew that they kind of like took in. So his name is Nick. And like I said, they said he wasn't really related to any of the other ones. He was just like staying with them. So Debbie actually works as a hospice nurse. And, like I said, even though sadly that job is not very well paid, but it's a job. But it's a job. Well, I was saying that the fact that she was able to save up enough money. I don't know how many years it took her, to be honest. It probably took a really long time. But so the second that they go into the house, David, the son, he thought the place was like weird immediately. Like he said he walked in and like the air felt really thick, like there was somebody already in there. You know what I mean? So even like from the beginning. So a few days go by and David starts getting like more and more creeped out. Now, he didn't say this outright, but what they showed on the reenactment was that he kind of heard like noises like a little girl giggling and then a red ball bouncing down the stairs, and I was like, oh, someone's seen The Changeling, I guess, because that was kind of like a big plot point in that movie if you haven't seen that. Now, because there's a little girl in the house who's a 5-year-old named Zoe, he thinks that it's that, but I guess, like, he went up to investigate and she wasn't there or something like that. So, yeah, so there's, like, creepy giggling and balls coming downstairs and stuff like that. Balls coming downstairs.
Yeah, balls coming downstairs. It happens to me all the time.
I was going to say, whose balls are always coming down the stairs. We're so mature. But we just can't let it go. We can't say balls without
it is what it is. Tammy talking about the dildos. What'd she say about this?
What is she? Oh, wait, where? Dildos start flying around. We know the demons have showed up.
Yeah. We got some dildos with your name on it over here, Tammy. Come on over here.
He's a weird ass dildo. Should we tell him about the because we didn't tell him about the what would we call it?
No, I know what you're talking about. No, we have to talk about it.
No, we're not gonna talk about it.
We'll tell that story on another show.
We'll put it on the sidetrack show.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, it wasn't funny at the time because it was really infuriating.
We were trying to shoot something. And we had the shit all set up, special effects. It wasn't real. And we did it. It was fucking perfect. It looked great. Camera wasn't rolling.
Well, my phone camera had turned itself off without me
Yeah.
noticing.
Yeah.
And I was like, God fucking damn it.
We'll do it
and it's
again.
like, and then there was a thing where it's like, I couldn't really
She was
do
getting
it
so
over
mad,
my-
I was telling her to shut the fuck up, don't get mad.
But you
I
were,
was mad,
I
too.
mean, you were getting mad too.
Yeah, you were making me madder, though.
Because I told him, I'm like, oh, you're the only one allowed to get mad?
It
like,
fucking looked great, man.
He's allowed to get mad,
It
but
looked
I'm not.
fucking great, man. It looked real. Yeah. It was better than real.
It did.
It was better
It
than
looked
real.
amazing.
It
And
was
that's
really
why I was so mad. I was like, I looked up at the phone and I was like, motherfucker!
It cut out a minute before the end.
Yeah, like a minute or two. Because it got most of it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, most of it's there. And then I was like, oh, shit. It just, like, stopped in the middle. Because my phone, if you run out of memory, like, it'll just stop recording without warning you. So, you know what I mean. It's kind of sucks. But yeah, how did we get distracted again? Balls down the stairs. Balls down the stairs. And that's right, Tammy asking about the
Tammy
dildos.
was lusting for the dildos.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, it did occur to me when we were talking about Paranormal Activity. Sometimes when we talk about these shows, I was like, how fucking funny would that be if like some of the dildos started like floating around in the background?
Tammy, we got alien ones over here, big fucking green Martian ones.
Yeah, the green
werewolf
Martian
ones. We got everything over here, man.
Yeah, we got some crazy ones. We got a
Yeah,
couple.
they're
Yeah,
fucking
we got a
crazy.
couple new ones.
We're gonna get crazier too.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I
get
like
crazy.
the crazy ones.
Yeah.
Like
They
I
look
said,
good on camera.
I don't like the realistic ones so
no.
much, but
They don't photograph very well.
yeah, I like the wacky ones.
Yeah.
The wackier the better.
Yeah, fucking crazy colors.
With all
and
the
shit.
crazy colors and stuff. I just like them.
Crazy looking shapes.
Because then I can coordinate my outfit with whatever color it is. That's how I know like what I'm gonna wear. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this one's like kind of a Martian green. So
She
let's
had this
do...
badass outfit and she didn't take any pictures of it in fucking white light. I was fucking upset about it.
I thought I did some in white
No.
light.
No. You couldn't see the whole outfit.
Well, I can put it on again.
It looked like a Barbie doll dress. It was pink. With pink fur that went around the boobs, made her boobs look huge.
It's like an anime character.
And the print was like blonde anime girl, like Sailor Moon or something, some shit on the front.
Yeah, like really big.
And she was wearing long black gloves up past her elbows and long black boots up to her knees with pink and black stripy socks. And she had pink braids.
Yeah, like really long like pink.
pinky
Well, they were
braids.
pink and purple, like
Yeah, pink
like
and purple.
ombre.
Yeah, and she had her little glasses on and her makeup, everything. She looked great, and shot it in colored light. Lost all the color.
I could have sworn I shot some in white light though.
No,
Maybe I lost some.
No, I couldn't. I didn't see any in white light, so you couldn't even tell it was pink.
Maybe I lost some.
We just got to do it again.
Because I'm sure, because I usually go through all the colors.
Yeah.
Well, all the colors that look good, because some of the colors that we have, because we have the ring light, and it's just like you can't take like red.
The
or anything like
selfies
that.
looked pretty good. You got to get me in there with the camera, and
Yeah.
I'll take full length photographs of that in white light. We'll set it up. I'll set the lights.
Yeah, because like I said, I remember what the outfit was.
Because the outfit
It's
look
not-
was fucking great, that'll wear that to a club. That'll blow people's minds because they've never seen you in that color.
Yeah, I never.
You look good in that.
I never wear pink.
Should have wore the
ever.
blue contacts though. That would have made it even.
Well,
better.
I was going to, but I was having
Yeah.
problems with my eyes, and I thought I better not risk it.
Next time we do a shoot though, you wear that out. You get fucking the blue contacts and set that off.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the white hair would have looked cooler with that.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to wear the pink braids, and to do the pink braids, you can't really wear a wig because you have to have like ponytails or something like that, like to fasten them too.
If you could take that to the club and wear the white wig.
Yeah, I thought it might look.
Or we'll
okay.
get you a pink wig like the white wig.
Yeah, because I don't have a pink one.
No.
I have a couple red ones. I have a green
Yeah.
one. I have a purple one. I have I have a bunch of different colors, but I don't have a pink
Yeah,
one.
it was cute, people.
Yeah, not usually something I would ever wear, but yeah, it did look kind of.
She looked like a Barbie doll.
It did look kind of cool.
Yeah. Like a gothic Barbie doll.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, bouncing balls. That's where we were.
Yeah.
So, then Debbie is doing, like, the renovations on the house or whatever and starts having what appeared to be, like, electrical problems. I guess it was, like, this lamp which would turn off and on by itself all the time, and it was just kind of, like, flickering and all that kind of crap. She also said that over the next few months, like, something that happened a lot was, like, objects would move around by themselves or would disappear. She's like, you know, you would put something down and then you'd turn around and like a second later you would turn back and it would be gone. She's like, that used to happen all the time. And she said that they also heard footsteps like really often. So here's Nick, this random 17-year-old that lives in their house. I mean, I'm sure they knew him. He wasn't random. But once they move into the house, Nick starts getting all moody and distant and rebellious. Debbie doesn't even hesitate to like snoop through his shit because I don't know. I don't have any teenagers, but
and she's not related to him, is she?
And she's not related to him. So I would think I would be really mad if I was a teenager and my parents like went through my shit,
or just some random grown woman.
But yeah, and so I'd be mad if it was my parents, much less if it was just like some random woman I was living with. Yeah. And maybe she could say, well, it's my house and blah-de-blah, and you're acting all fucked up, so I have a right to like look through your shit. But it's like still, I'm the kind of person that likes to respect other people's privacy. I would never go through people's shit.
Imagine if this was a 40, 45, or 50-year-old man rifling through a 16-year-old girl's shit.
Right, that's kind of...
That's gonna look sideways, man.
That always just like... gives me like puts a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah. I don't really like I'm not even really a big fan, and like I said, I don't have any kids, so maybe it's different if you do have kids, but I've never really been a big fan of like parents like going through their kids' shit.
They're not gonna like what they find anyway.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, I mean, unless the kid is like obviously a serial killer or something like that, it's just like, you know, give them some privacy for Christ's sake. They're like a person. I don't know.
Reading their love letters and shit.
Right, that's fucked up. It's like that's a
they do it.
That's a little perverse.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I don't really like it. Yeah. So in this, you know, she's just kind of like, oh, well, I'm going to go through his stuff because he's acting different. And I was just kind of like, holy crap. So she starts going through his shit, and he's pissed, obviously. And she finds a book about witchcraft. Uh-oh. Not the Necronomicon, because that would have been funny. But because remember that episode that we did the other day where they were talking about, and the guy has books on the occult, like the Necronomicon. And I was like, okay, you guys know that's not real, right? But yeah, so she finds a book on witchcraft, and also and this was kind of in the image that I used for the thumbnail. She finds like a symbol painted on the wall. Like it looks like spray paint. I guess it was supposed to be a pentagram, but it was a real janky looking pentagram, gotta say. Unless it was supposed to be some other kind of symbol.
I didn't see it.
It looked pentagram adjacent, but it was just like somebody was just like, blah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't remember
It's like some half-ass like pentagram. And so she's kind of mad that he's painting on the walls. And also she has these witchcraft books and stuff like that. So, like I said, he comes home and catches her. He's like, hey, you're going through my shit. It's like, you're making a big deal out of nothing, blah, blah. Now, about this point, Debbie gets a real bad back injury at work and needs surgery. So she actually has to like stop work on the house, obviously, and she has to stay on the ground floor of the house for like a really long time, until she recovers because she can't walk up and down the stairs. Now, one night while she's downstairs, she said she saw an apparition. Like she woke up and she saw it. She said it was this little girl and looked like very clearly like early 1900s. And she's like, what would happen? I guess she saw her more than once is what the implication was. So she said that she would wake up or she would open her eyes and she would see the girl standing there like at the end of the bed. And she's like, sometimes she would close her eyes like, holy shit, there's a fucking ghost standing there. And then she would open again and it's like, sometimes she'd be gone, but sometimes she would just have moved like to the other side. You know what I mean? That's what she said.
That's weird.
So like I said, I guess she had seen her like more than once.
That's a weird detail. Sometimes she's gone, sometimes she just moved.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. That's like why I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Now, as weird as this sounds, Debbie said that she's like, it was scary, but she was actually kind of relieved to see the ghost because for a long time, you know, they thought that there had been some weird paranormal shit going on, like with shit moving and hearing footsteps and stuff like that, but they weren't really sure. There was nothing like definitive. So like when she saw the apparition, she's like, oh, well, okay, I guess the shit's haunted. That proves it now. So she's like, so she wasn't really all that scared of the ghost at first because it was just a little girl and it didn't look like particularly malevolent or anything like that. So about 2 months after this, Debbie is recovered and she goes back to work. And Nick, goddamn Nick, he has a new girlfriend who I thought they were saying her name was Alicia, but I think they were saying Alitia.
Let me get
Alitia? I think that's what they were
Alicia,
saying.
maybe.
No, I thought it was Alicia, but it's not. And then I crossed it out and wrote Alitia. It was a weird name. So the two of them start doing like satanic shit. You know, summoning a demon or just spirits or whatever the hell. And, you know, like I said, it's a Blame the Goths episode. So they're like, oh, he started wearing black clothes, candles everywhere, pentagrams all over everything. This was like really funny because David, who is the older son, thank you, he was just, I can't remember the exact wording he used, but I remember like it cracking me up. And he just was like, I don't like to see pentagrams all over everything or something like that. Like the way he phrased it was like really funny to me. I don't really, it's like, it's just a, it's fine. It's not evil or nothing. It's just a pentagram on something. Just calm down. But yes, it's like pentagrams all over everything, candles everywhere, yada yada. Now David actually sees all of this, like sees all the shit that him and his girlfriend have, like with all their black clothes and pentagrams and whatnot. But he's like, well, I'm not going to tell Mom about this because she's been through enough and, you know, she's doesn't really need to deal with it. So Nick and his girlfriend go to the graveyard to start summoning spirits because David is like, you know, you guys need to quit doing this in the house. Like, because I guess they were doing it in the basement or whatever. So they start going to the graveyard, like sneaking off. Now, while they're in there with their Ouija board, and you know what trouble that causes, they're summoning a spirit, and they say they see like a shadow figure in the cemetery that's just like kind of appears and is just like standing over there, and they get freaked out and run the fuck out of the cemetery. And I was like, you guys were trying to like summon a spirit, and then one shows up and you get all upset about it. I was like, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, in real life, nothing would happen. But I'm just saying that it's like, in the context of what they were trying to do, why would they be upset? That's what they were trying to do. Hey, it worked. Okay. But no, they just got scared and were like, oh, fuck, run, Scooby. It was like that kind of situation. So they run back to the house. Or actually, they drove back to the house because they came in the car. But then when they get back to the house, and they go inside, and they look out the window, and they saw the dude, presumably the same dude, or like the shadow figure, whatever, standing outside the house. And they're like, how the fuck did he get here if he was just like walking? Because we drove, you know what I mean? So they're like freaked out. So they tell David about that, and David looks out the window, and he sees him too. Now this could have just been a real dude, like just a creep or whatever that was standing there. But, you know, it maybe wasn't even the same person, if indeed they even saw anybody in the cemetery. I don't know. But David said he saw him too. And the guy was like standing out there in the yard, basically like staring at the house. So David goes outside to presumably like confront the guy and be like, hey, why the fuck are you standing in our yard? But by the time he gets out there, the dude has disappeared. So David tells Debbie about this, his mom. And she don't want no Ouija boards in the house. She knows what that leads to, you know.
It's the Parker brothers fucking up your shit.
I was going to say.
Parker Brothers brings the demons into your house. And then you're going to have to get Father Mulcahy to show up. And the Warrens. And they're going to have to do an exorcism.
An exorcism.
Exorcism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a redneck version. Going exorcism. It's like some shit my dad would say.
It did. That's kind of what it reminded me of when he said that.
That's why it came up. They had this thing. They called it exorcism. It's like turkey necks.
You know how sometimes they put turkey necks inside of you.
I swear. I saw it. They put turkey necks in there. I said, no, they didn't, Dad. Long story, people.
My favorite part of that story, like when you told it to me, the part that made me laugh the most was that, you know, and he insists that his chest was filled with turkey necks, like after he had open heart surgery. Yeah. And Tom was like trying to tell, he's like, no, they didn't put turkey necks in you, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's like, your dad said something like, well, you don't have to believe me. That's your prerogative.
Yes, that's your. He said, I don't believe that, Dad. He goes, that's your prerogative.
For some reason that made me laugh so hard that he said that.
He's being sophisticated with it.
I don't know why that made me laugh so far.
I was asking the doctor, "What is he on something?" No, he's on a little bit of medication. And fucking, he was talking crazy like that. And he goes, "Oh, I think he's got hospital psychosis."
Yeah.
Which is, they're under so
he
much
was in there a while too. Like he was in there for
he'll
like
be
2
all right.
weeks
He'll
or
snap
something.
out of it. Yeah, he'll snap out of it. He was like, he told his friend Goober, his friend's name was Goober, childhood friend.
True.
That they had abducted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says, "Go down to my truck, go get my gun." You get your gun, Tommy? He said, "Yeah, get my gun, bring it to me. We're gonna shoot our way out of here." He was serious. He goes, "You got yours?" He goes, "Yeah." He carried a 1911 around with him. Fucking, it was just. Goober carried a 1911 his whole fucking life, and it was that same one. It was a fucking Singer, made by Singer sewing machine, and it was totally. This is World War II era shit. And that thing's worth a lot of money now, but it's totally in the rough. There wasn't a bit of bluing on it. It was just metal, bare metal. And it looked like stainless, but it wasn't. It's just he kept it in such good condition. It was just bare metal. All the fucking bluing had come off of it. And I think it was actually Parkerized when he first got it. When he was a kid, it was that same 45. And he was fucking good, man. Really good with it. Competition shooter. Just had a triggering job on it. That was it. But no, stock 1911. He carried it wherever he went and didn't have a permit.
Camp Guy says, I guess this is kind of in reference to what we were saying earlier about going through your teenager shit. Camp Guy said, we always let our kids have the most possible freedom we could, sent them away to camp, travel without parents. And Camp Guy said, my daughter went to South Korea, Italy, and France without parents by the time she was 13 or 14 years old. That's pretty cool. Yeah, her dance troupe went to South Korea, and they all danced at several public events. Tennessee clogging. We did that in school. Isn't that funny? Even though I'm from my dad's side of the family is from Tennessee, but I'm from Florida. But yeah, we did clogging in school. I don't know why. I don't think everybody did, but we did. I don't really know why. But yeah, so this was my favorite part about the Ouija board, and this is the part when it got to this point. I mean, everything up to this is like pretty out there too, but it's like when it got to this point, like with the whole Ouija board situation, this is the part where I'm starting to like smell bullshit a little bit. Well, smell bullshit a lot, you know. So yeah, Mom says we don't want any Ouija boards in the house. So Nick says, okay, well, fine, you know, quit your bitching, I'll put it away, and he kind of like knocks it off for a bit, but he just can't keep away from the Ouija board, man, because that's how it is. It's like addictive. So then he just starts doing it again. Now, David, the son, he actually goes in there and throws the Ouija board away. Like, he just puts it out in the trash. But it appeared, apparently, back where it was. Because Nick was like, what are you talking about? You threw it away. It's right here where I left it. Like, on the basement floor or something like that. And David's like, motherfucker. So, I mean, as you would, he thought, oh, well, that little shit just went out there and dug it out of the trash. You know what I mean? So David takes it again, gets in his truck, and drives however far, I don't know how far it was, and just like pitches it out in a field and like leaves it. But then a couple days later, it turned up back in the house again. And I was like, no, it didn't. Stop it. Now this time he's like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. So he turns it over and he like scratches a big X like on the back. So he's like, I'm going to throw it out this time so I'll know it's the same one, because I don't want to think that maybe Nick is going out buying a new one every single time and freaking me out. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure it's the same one.
There must have been more than one.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe Nick had like a whole bunch of them. Right. He just kept, because that would actually, if your parents or your caretakers or whoever, your guardians, actually believed in that crap, that would be a hilarious practical joke. Yeah. I think. Well, it might not be too hilarious, because if they really believed, they might like have you exorcised or something and you might die. So maybe not so funny, but it would be really funny to just go and buy a bunch of Ouija boards and just like keep sticking them, and Bill's like, oh my God, it keeps coming back. I don't know what the deal is. So yeah. So he marks it with an X, and then he throws it out again, but it comes back again, and it's the same one because it has like the X on the back. At this point, Debbie's like, okay, well,
He didn't destroy it, though. He just threw it out.
Yeah, he just threw it out.
Man, he's intercepting it in the garbage and just bringing it back in the house.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably. Samantha said, Jenny, your lip color looks fab. Thank you. Yeah, this is probably my favorite color. It's Maybelline Matte Ink, but I can't remember what the name of the color is. It's one I get all the time, but I can't remember what the name of the color is. And it's like too small. The writing on the bottom is too small for me to read it anyway, so I couldn't even check if I wanted to. So at this point, Debbie's like, all right, I'm going to handle this. So she's like, I'm going to try and burn it, which you're not really supposed to do. I mean, according to Ouija board lore, right? Because aren't you just like releasing all the demons then?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they say?
Yeah. I guess.
It's like, yeah, I was like, that's a bunch of bullshit too. But like, yeah. So she's like, she's going to burn it. So she has like all of this kind of like a little campfire trash burning situation like out in the yard. And she puts it in the middle and like burns it. But she's like, but it wouldn't burn. Like, she went back, and it's like everything else was burned, but it was just laying there, like, all fucking...
Hold my fucking beer.
I was like, yeah, I'll burn it.
Burn it.
Like I said, what is it? It's just pressboard, right?
I'll burn it.
Yeah, she said it wouldn't burn. It was just sitting there in the middle.
See how she tried to fucking
and it was,
burn.
like, completely fine.
You get some diesel fuel and shit.
You just,
cut it up into little pieces and pour diesel fuel on it.
You could blow it up.
It'd be gone.
Yeah. You could blow it up. That would be funny.
Yeah.
You could, like, shoot it full of holes. You could do all kind of stuff.
I'd just burn it.
Yeah. Well, she says she tried to do that, but it didn't work.
Hold my beer.
It's evil.
I'll burn it. Yeah. I'll get that acetylene torch. It'll burn. I can burn metal. All right.
Yeah, it's like a little Ouija board. It's not it's fine. So Debbie, again, snooping through Nick's stuff, finds a bloody knife in one of his drawers, and asks Nick about it, and Nick and his girlfriend, Aletia, or whatever her name was, say that they felt really bad because they cast, like, this really bad spell, like, to cause sickness and death or something. I'm like, why would you do that? I don't really know. But here was the worst part. They said that when they were casting the spell, they sacrificed a cat. At which point, I was just kind of like, you motherfuckers, I hope the demons get you then. Leave those kitties alone, goddammit. So at this point, Debbie's like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this fucking kid anymore. So she's like, I'm going to get him some help. So this is how they put it. She puts him in a facility. That's how they put it. Which I was like, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah. We're going to put him in the fucking hospital. And we never hear about Nick ever again. So we don't know if he ever recovered from his edgelordery or whatever it was that he was doing. So, because Nick is gone, and now there's, like, an extra bedroom. So, I guess prior to this, Jody's kids, Zoe and Craig, had been sharing a room. But now they can each have their own room. So, they moved Zoe, the 5-year-old girl, into Nick's old room. And pretty much the first night, it seems like, Zoe sees a creepy little ghost boy, like, outside the window, like, peeking in at her, like, with a real mean expression on his face. Now, she asks who he is, and apparently he says that his name is Jacob. So she tells her mom about this, and mom's like, okay, well, maybe if that room is too scary for you, then you can trade rooms with your brother. So Craig moves into that room, who is 7. A few nights after that, Debbie checks in on Craig, the 7-year-old, and finds his blanket, like, pitched, like, behind the dresser. And she's like, what's this all about? Why is your blanket way over here? And the kid says, Jacob keeps pulling my blankets off. And he's like fucking with me all the time. Well, that 7-year-old kid didn't say he was fucking with me.
It would be cool if the 7-year-old kid did, though.
I know.
Jacob keeps fucking with me. He's fucking with you. He's fucking with me.
I know, I would laugh so hard.
It'd be fucking funny.
For some reason, like, kids swearing is, like, always really funny.
Especially if they don't realize they're swearing.
Right, like, yeah, if they're doing it, it's like, oh, I'm being so naughty, it's not funny then. But if they're just, like, talking like normal, like I would, then that's, like, really funny.
My parents busted it up. I was in a stroller one time. My dad's trying to unlock the fucking door, and he can't find the keys. It's dark, and I go, God damn, son of a bitch. I was in a stroller. That's what he would say.
Yeah.
God damn, son of a bitch. I knew it was coming. God damn, son of a bitch.
Said little baby Tom.
Yeah. I could talk early. And said all kinds of nonsense.
That's pretty fucking funny. Yeah. See, I would have just busted up laughing too. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
They're just words. It's fine.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was. They just laughed.
Yeah. And I think most people, I mean, if you had a kid and you were in public and they started swearing, I mean, I think most people would just think it was funny. I don't think anybody would be offended or nothing.
I was just parroting what I heard.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's what most kids are doing. I mean, obviously they hear it someplace.
It's situational.
Yeah. So, yeah, this ghost keeps fucking with me, said the kid. So, basically, Debbie gets wigged out by this because she's like, okay, well, Zoe, the 5-year-old, she said that the ghost's name was Jacob that was peeking in at her through the window. And then in the same room, Craig also said that this ghost that was pulling his blankets off was also named Jacob. So she was, like, weirded out that they both said the same name. Because I don't know if they, like, collaborated, like, or, you know, on the name or anything like that. But she didn't think they did. So David decides he's going to set up his laptop with the webcam in Craig's room, like, to see if he can catch, like, some paranormal activity, like, happening. Because the kid said it happened all the time. Now, evidently, although obviously they didn't show this for real on the show, he's watching the footage, like, while the kid is sleeping and everything. And he sees the blanket, like, come off, like, all ghosty-like, off of the kid's bed and, like, kind of flies behind the whatchamacallit. So he shows Debbie this video, and she's like, holy crap, like, that's obviously paranormal because, you know, I mean, the way they showed it on the reenactment, it, like, you know, came way up on the thing and, like, went over there. I don't know what it looked like in real life. It probably wasn't that impressive. So she decides she's going to go to the Historical Society to see if she can figure out, like, what's going on, you know, with the history of the house, if there's some kind of information that would help them out. So what she finds out is that 3 people have owned the house prior to her, like in the last 150 years, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. Now, several people did die in this house, including a little girl, which maybe is the one she saw earlier, and a little boy named Jacob. They don't know what he died of, though. That wasn't in the records. They said some of the records had been destroyed in a fire, but she did find that, at least. So she did know that a kid named Jacob died in the house, at least according to the show. So Debbie, at this point, I guess she was like a little bit older, so she retired from her job. And David, he was 28 or 29, however old he was, and he decides he's going to move out because, you know, he had a girlfriend and they were going to move in together. And, you know, he's kind of feels bad about leaving because he's concerned about the family and stuff. But Debbie can't really afford to move as much as she would kind of like to because the house is creeping her out. So she basically is like, well, I'm just going to try and, like, pray the ghosties away. That's just all you can do, right? And so what she decides to do is while Jody, her daughter, and the 2 kids, like her grandkids, are away on vacation or something, Debbie decides she's going to try and, you know, go and read the Bible and all that other kind of stuff, like, around the house. But apparently the entity gets really mad, grabs her, scratches her, and pushes her down the steps. So that's, you know, just making the ghosties mad is what you're doing. So then she goes to the church for help, which that's always your first mistake. So the preacher comes in and he's doing his thing, and he's just comes right in the door and he's like saying all the prayers and stuff. And apparently Debbie got like violently ill, like, you know, so I guess like the demon was attacking her or whatever. But after he did his thing, she said, oh, you know, the air lifted, like somebody opened a window, blah, blah, blah. House feels normal for a few weeks, she said, after the priest came. And so she actually invites some friends over. Now, the friends, it was a couple, I guess. And the friend's husband, man, what a chode that dude was. I mean, he was really, like, hamming it up for the show, I guess. He's like, I'm going to be the biggest dick I can be, like, on this fucking shit. So he just comes in, and he's straight up, because they're, you know, the 2 ladies are talking about, like, the haunting or whatever. And he's like, he says something like, you guys are idiots. Like, he says it, like, in pretty much that tone. I'm like, well, that's nice. I was like, you come in my house and drink my fucking beer, because he was drinking a beer, and call me an idiot, and, like, fucking laugh in my face about the fucking paranormal struggles I'm having. So, you know what I mean? Fuck off. You're not invited anymore. So, so then he just starts going around the house going, ooh, are the ghosts in here? Ooh, and he, like I said, he was being, like, a real asshole. So he's, like, challenging the spirits, I'm guessing. But then he goes down to the basement like, ooh, it's so scary, blah, blah, blah. And then he's, like, taking pictures, like, all around. And apparently one of the pictures that he took had this really scary, like, ghosty face in it, like this man's face. And he was like, oh, shit. And I'm like, yeah, what did you think was going to happen? Like I said, oh, big man. Now you fucking probably peed yourself.
Okay.
You know, I'm just saying. Yeah. So, well, like I said, he was really, like, overselling. It's like how big of an asshole he was. I don't know what he was really like. So, yeah, so there's, like, a creepy demon face. Well, it was like a man's face. And it wasn't really a demon face. So Debbie calls in a paranormal investigation team. The main guy is named Bill Cook, who I guess was a former cop, and now he has, like, an investigation. I can't remember what the name of the group was. Now, while the team was there the first time, they did have the basement door, which slammed on its own. And they also have this one woman named Carrie, who is, you know, the psychic or the sensitive or whatever. And she says, oh, the basement feels weird, and there's, like, a really heavy negative feeling down here. And apparently, I don't know if anybody told her any of this shit beforehand, But the show made it seem as though she just came and was like, is this where Nick sacrificed a cat? You know what I mean? Like, so it was almost like she was divinely getting that information. Yeah. But they might have told her that ahead of time. I'm not really sure. So, but on the show, they made it seem like she just came in and knew that shit.
Have you worn these glasses on the show yet?
I don't know about on the show. I've worn them in some.
Yeah, you guys, I want to show you another pair of glasses that I got.
I mean, I might have.
These are the ultra nerdy glasses.
Yeah, because I think we said something about ultra nerdy glasses.
Look how cute those are.
You want me
to wear those because those are different now. Get a different look. That fits that. Those fit that wig better. I think. Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think of those glasses? You can drop it in the comment section.
I really do like this wig,
I think it's a cool glass. I'm trying to get her readers like that. Look at that. These look really good on her.
But I can't. But they're not readers.
They're not readers,
so I can't see. Like with
I'm trying to get readers like that. I've been looking all over the internet for oversized round readers. They only come in just cosmetic. Where they're not fucking no magnification at all. What is it you use? 1.25?
No, I think it's 1.5.
1.5
or 2.
Or 2.
I'm getting blinder as the days go on. As the days go on.
We need to confirm that so I can get on the internet and keep searching. I'm trying to get something like this as readers.
Tammy said, "Are you going to try and burn those evil dildos?"
Shit. That's a business investment right there, man.
They weren't horribly expensive. Yeah. But yeah, they're really cool. I'm going to get some
we got a Martian one over there, Tammy's got your name all over it. It's not even circumcised. It's green.
It also it also glows in the dark.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize until I came in the office like in the morning one time and I was like, "Ooh, look at that."
It's green.
It was like glowing.
Yeah.
And it's actually like much you can't really tell, like, but it's like really vivid.
Yeah, it's fucking like
lime
neon green.
Yeah, and like I said, it glows in the dark too, which I didn't know.
And it's not human. It looks like a caterpillar.
Kinda. Yeah,
it's got all kinds of weird shit on it.
Yeah, all sorts of weird ridges and stuff. Yeah, Julianne Pope said the cat sacrifice made me mad. Me too. Yeah, like this episode, I was just like, no, goddamn, because you know how mad I get when. I mean, if you guys watch my movie reviews or book reviews or something like that, anytime like a dog or cat gets killed in a story, I get like really mad. Yeah, Camp Guy said I like the round glasses. Yeah, I like them too. Samantha B said, I watched a reseller or trash picker that found a Ouija board in the trash, took it home. People were freaking out in the comments. I guess so. Like, oh my God, do you know what kind of stuff you can bring? It's like, it's fine. It's just, like I said, it's just, I don't get this whole thing about Ouija boards, man. Like everybody being scared of Ouija boards.
It's something tangible they can call upon and use as a damn, as a prop in a story.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And, you know, they're made by Parker Brothers. And when Parker Brothers introduced them, they didn't really even have a kind of a long history of like, paranormal bullshit.
Right, or like a mythology behind them. That kind of came later.
It was more like Parker Brothers invented that mythology.
They did, I think, to a large extent.
Yeah, so all this stuff about what you can and can't do with one, you can't burn one, you can't. This is all shit that was made up later.
Yeah.
By people in the spiritist movement. And they did things what you'd call, they did things that I would call pulling out of the ass. They would pull things out of their asses constantly. Mm-hmm. Because they were doing seances. A seance was a hustle. Back in the Victorian era, before television and even theater wasn't that big, you could go to a seance and get a girl to pull something out her cooch. Yeah. In the dark room.
Which, when are you ever going to see that in the Victorian era?
Yeah, they called it ectoplasm.
Other than maybe at a whorehouse.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was just kind of like, I'm sure that was like a kink for some people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And there were I heard some skeptical, like, what do you call it? Critiques of some of the real famous mediums. And they were like, yeah, she's real good at making all this phenomena appear. We tried to catch her, but we know she's faking. And we also know she's turning tricks at these fucking events. Because she, you know what I mean? The woman in question was also like a prostitute or had a history of it. And so it's like a carny type event, you know. Like, yeah, she'll summon the spirits and then, you know, give me a hand job afterwards. So, you know, fucking, it was a fucking full spectrum entertainment, man. She was what they call it, milk multimedia.
Yeah.
At the time. Okay?
Well, like I said, that's pretty cool. You get to go and like it's all creepy. And you sit in a dark room with candles, and then like I said, you get some lady to like pull stuff out of her vagina.
Yeah.
You know, that glows and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then maybe there'll be like a happy ending.
You reach over there and give you a hand job. And,
and then she can say that it's the spirits doing it.
Spirits did it, and your wife was sitting right next to you. It was kinky as shit. Your wife didn't know. So
the medium's like, it wasn't me. Like,
it wasn't me.
The spirits.
The spirits
gave you that hand job.
You're tipping like crazy. That was a great seance. That was a great seance. I love the ending. It was very happy ending.
Oh my god, we should do a stream mate.
We should do a video like that.
Well, we should do a video like that. It's like a seance. That would be super fun. I love seance shit. I do. I know it's all fake, but I'm fascinated by the lengths that they went to fake some of the shit. Like, I love all the kind of stuff about like all the weird shit that they built. Like I said, most of the time they just had phosphorescent paint and they just like stuck it up their cooch or whatever, but they had like all these little secrets, these little things that they would like, little tricks that they would use, and it's like I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff. I love all the iconography about that. I just love all of that.
In case you guys don't know what we're talking about, pulling things out the cooch, they had this phenomenon called ectoplasm, and they would try to photograph it, and they would say that they saw it and shit like that, and really all it was is gauze, rolled up
like
gauze, cheesecloth. And they'd roll it up in a way that kind of like a magician would do it. And they would hide it in certain areas of like their clothes or whatever. And they'd pull it out. And they might have a little cutout photograph of somebody in there. And they'd take a picture in the middle of the fucking seance. And then there's, the ectoplasm came out of my mouth. Well, one of the places they'd hide the ectoplasm, if it was a female, was in the cooch. They'd pull the ectoplasm out and it'd fucking skirt. And it was happening in a dark room, so you couldn't see her do it.
Well, she's sitting there going...
it was... But it was just where the hiding place was, because they were producing a lot of it, ectoplasm. And then it would mysteriously disappear, because they had people in the room helping.
Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah. Like, they would usually have, like, black bodysuits on and stuff like that.
Dark
with, like, little fishing poles or, like, fishing line on it.
Yeah, and they'd help.
With all the, like, little horns floating around and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, but it was just, like, gauze and cheesecloth and stuff, but... Like, some of the witnesses were real believing. They were like, it was strange. When the ectoplasm came out, it had a very earthly smell to it, a very body-like smell to it.
Yeah.
Fucking, A real player would have known what that smell was.
Yeah, it's like, wonder what that... He's like, I recognize
okay.
That. I know where this has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, like, I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff. I love all of that kind of stuff. And I was going to say, when we were talking about, like, Ouija boards, I actually just bought a wallet that has, like, a Ouija board on it, like, on one side. It's actually really cool looking. And the little clasp thing with the chain is the little planchette. It's, like, it's pretty neat. I think I got that on Shein, now that I'm thinking about it. And it was only, like,
we've been plugging Shein like crazy.
Well...
We got a fucking...
I basically
$1,000 worth of clothes for like $200.
I basically got a whole entire wardrobe. I haven't worn all the shit that I haven't even had time to wear all the shit that we bought yet.
It wasn't $200. We probably spent about $350 in product.
Yeah, maybe over the time.
And we got retail what would have been about $1,000.
I have because you got me some pants too, and like 3 of the pairs came and they all look really cool, and then there's 2 more pairs like on the way.
Yeah, one of them is a Dia de los Muertos fucking pants.
Yeah.
Got cartoons from like Spanish, Mexican girls and fucking skeletons. Cartoons. They look good.
Yeah.
Good. Like in Mexican type colors, red and black. And then a lot of skull pants and gothic pants. And they're all bell bottoms. They look really good. Stretchy, tight bell bottoms.
Yeah.
You wear them with big old fucking platforms. They look good.
Well, the one pair that I have...
one is a peg leg, I think, isn't it?
Well, the one pair that's bell bottoms, I definitely have to wear big platforms with those because they are way long. Because, like, my legs are really short. So. Yeah. But the other ones fit good, but those ones are... They fit good, but they're just, like, long.
They're for really long shoes.
They're for really tall people or really high platform boots.
Really high platforms, I think.
So, but I have high platform boots, so that's fine.
You probably could have taken a size smaller, maybe, because they are really stretchy.
Well, they were mediums.
Yeah.
But... they fit good up top. It's just that they're long.
They're real long, yeah.
And the thing about it is, even if you got a smaller size, they'd probably be the same length.
They'd probably be long, yeah.
What is Tammy said? Well, that glow in the dark dildo probably put that ectoplasm up her vagina. Yeah, that's probably how she did.
Yeah.
Put it right up in what I call nature's pocketbook.
Yeah. Fucking funny.
You know, you can hide all kind of stuff in there. Well, that was another thing you were telling me about that porn girl that puts all the footballs and stuff up her butt.
Oh, you're talking about Hot Kinky Joe.
Yeah, and I was saying to myself, here's.
It's in her butt.
You can tell I'm a girl because this is the first place that my mind went to. I was like, man, I bet she never has to carry a purse anywhere. She can just carry everything up her ass. It's like, wait, where are my keys? And then she like fucking. That was the first place my mind went. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
We're coming back from Koi Wan, and we somehow got on the fucking subject of fucking extreme penetrations. I bring up Hot Kinky Joe and tell her what that girl does for a living, and Jenny was just fucking amazed. I hadn't shown her to you though. Just showed her a picture of her.
Yeah, but you were going to show me some of the videos, and then we forgot about it.
A girl can put her arm inside of her up to the elbow and wave to you, and you can see her hand in her abdomen.
Yeah.
And she's like waving. They're laughing. It's like it's not even a big deal.
And
she's like an anal acrobat.
I was like, see, everybody's good at something.
I was just like, damn. Put a footballs. Just insane things, you know. And she's some Eastern European chick and she's from a while back. She's not new. And to look at her, you'd go. She's skinny and scrawny. There's something about her face. You look at her face though, and you go, "Yeah, she'd be able to do it."
That's what Tom said. It's like, he's like, I can't really put my finger on it, but she looks like exactly the kind of person that you picture.
Could do that.
When you'd be like, yeah, she could stuff whole footballs up her butt.
Yeah. There's just something about it.
And I was like, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
You look at her and you go, yeah, she'd be able to do it.
See, these are the kind of conversations we don't have to be on the the show. We have these conversations all the time like that. Like, I don't know how it always ends up like that, but...
It's because it's funny when we were talking about doing our other projects and shit that were coming up on Streammate and everything. Some of our regulars were like shocked, and I was like, "You haven't been paying attention to the show. You don't really know us. We're crazy. We know a lot of crazy people and shit. It's all fun and games though. We're like circus people. We don't really take any of that personally.
Kinda.
There's limits." You know.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna do any fucking thing. But it's just, but it is like a good. Yeah, we are kind of like circus people in a way.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of.
But you know, full blown studio porn and fucking millions of people per year and fucking sugar in and sugar daddy in and sugar baby in and escorting and shit. No, we're not that kind of people. But just professional style, independent stuff, just between me and her. Maybe like some chick we know or something. Maybe. But, you know, nobody else.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't want a bunch of randos.
Yeah. There's no such thing. Like my buddy was in like, man, hey, all these random people. There's no rando people. Even like some of the shit, like the people that want to fuck with us are all our exes.
Yeah.
Like couples that we dated. Like my ex-girlfriend and the guy that I introduced her to, there's now her husband's trying to fuck with us. You know, just we're getting invited to we've always been invited to the swingers clubs and shit.
Yeah.
To go hang out with our exes.
It's a weird scene. It's not weird.
It's not weird when you know these people.
It's not weird to us.
It's not weird. They're all from the goth scene and they kind of do that on the down low, and it's like a little underground version of that. But we know them all, so it's not as weird when you know them. You're like, oh, well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
It's like, yeah, if we were drunk enough, some shit would probably go down. You know what I mean?
And some of them are porn stars, and some of them are just online content creators and stuff. That's not a porn star. We're online content creators.
Yeah.
A porn star works for a studio. And they got management, and they're going, today you'll do this and this and this and this. And you didn't really have a choice in it, you know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
If you want your career to go, you're going to do this and that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the whole fun of it for me was doing it independently so we could just do what you wanted.
Yeah.
I don't want to be... It's like, you know, if I already got to do a bunch of shit I don't want to do because, you know, if you have a regular job, you have to do a bunch of shit you don't want to do.
Like we're planning on, we want to do an outside shoot and we're going to shoot outside, but it's hot. And we wanted to make a day of it and have a picnic.
Yeah.
And then shoot porn.
Yeah.
Be at her. And we're gonna plan it all out, the outfits and everything. So
might wait until it cools off a little bit.
Yeah, it's too hot.
Because it's like 100 degrees outside right now, and I'm just like, I walk outside and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah. So the psychic lady goes down to the basement, and the show makes it seem like, oh, she knew that was where Nick and like sacrificed the poor little kitty cat, and the cat's like, don't involve me in this, I didn't do anything. And the woman says, oh well, if they sacrificed an animal or a person, a baby or something, they're like, that obviously makes it a lot harder to get rid of the entity that they summoned, because that's how shit works, I guess. So upstairs there's another member of the team, and they're up there doing EVPs or whatever the hell. And I guess like a door like slams open and closed like by itself. And then they're taking photos like in the room, like by the door that just opened by itself. And I guess, allegedly, the photo that they took like captured the little girl ghost, and they showed it to Debbie, and she was like, holy shit, that's the little girl I saw, or something like that. Like I said, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they said.
Oh, before you go on this, could you guys do us a favor and go ahead and press that like button before you leave?
Just click it.
We only got like one thumbs up.
Nobody likes us.
Yeah, they don't like it. That'll help us out.
Not really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the team does that. They fuck around or whatever, and then they leave, and they're gonna go analyze the data, and like then we'll be back. And then there's like this whole big thing where Debbie gets the whole like exorcist treatment, right? Like she gets fucking attacked in her bed, like the bed's shaking, like a dark figure apparently like standing over there going wah or whatever, like the whole fucking deal. Like no, there was no pea soup vomit or nothing like that, but the bed was shaking and she was like being rattled all around and everything. So the day after that, Debbie's like, okay, well fuck this, I'm gonna move into another room. She didn't like that room. So the paranormal team comes back for like the second assessment or whatever. And they're like, at this point, and they always kind of say this too, like the psychic lady, she's like, well, the ghost could actually be, the actual ghost that they appear to be, like the two kids that died in the house, or they could be the entity, the evil entity, the demon, whatever it is, like pretending to be that. So, but we won't really know which one it is. So a few days later, they decide they're all going to do a cleansing. And Debbie does a thing where she goes around like, this is my house and you don't belong here and you're not welcome here and blah, blah, blah. And she says she feels kind of better after that. And so the activity stops after they do the cleansing for a while. They said it stopped for like 6 months. And then 6 months later, David, who had, remember, like moved out to move in with his girlfriend, he comes by like to help out with some kind of like renovation shit or whatever that was going on in the house. And he finds in the house, dun, 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 a Ouija board. Which apparently there wasn't supposed to be a Ouija board in the house anymore. He was like, oh no, it's starting again. You know what I mean? Like, the fucking thing brought the Ouija board back. Which I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. So they find another Ouija board and they're just like, fuck this. It's like starting all over. And Debbie's just kind of like, well, there's really like nothing to be done. It's like, look, we've already gone to the church and got the blessing shit. We already got like the paranormal investigators and they came and did a cleansing and it didn't do jack. It's like it did something for 6 months and then like the Ouija board popped out and it's like starting all over again. So she's like, well, she can't afford to move. Now, a few weeks after that, I guess there's like a door slamming like upstairs, like she's standing downstairs and then like the door at the top of the landing like slams by itself. And then she said she felt a hand like inside her chest, like squeezing, like it was trying to, then she like collapsed to the floor or whatever. I'm assuming she was just having a heart attack, but she did like attribute it to the ghost. Although she said she went to the ER and they couldn't find anything wrong with her. So I guess it wasn't like maybe it was a panic attack. But yeah, she said it felt like the ghost was kind of like, rah, like right inside her chest like that. So at this point, she's like, all right, well, the shit's getting dangerous. Like, this motherfucker's trying to kill me or whatever. So her daughter and grandchildren still lived in the house. So at this point, she's like, you guys need to move out. Like, it's not safe here anymore. So she, like, sent them away. She's like, she's bummed out about it, obviously, because now she's in the house alone. But she's like, I didn't want anything bad to happen to them. So she made them move out for their own safety. So she puts the house up for sale, and basically is stuck there until the house sells. And the house had not sold at the time that they made the show. So basically she's living in the house by herself, putting up with all these paranormal shenanigans until someone bought the shit. So basically, like, the voiceover guy is like, she's remaining in fear until she sells the house. I'm sure this house has probably been sold by now, because this was like, what? When did the season 6, I think, was 2010. 13.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the story started in 2009.
Okay.
But the show came out in 2013.
Okay.
I think season 6 was 2013.
And they mentioned 2010 at one time in there, and I was like, okay, that's when this was.
2009 was when she bought the house.
Okay.
But like I said, this show came out in
2009. That's right.
In 2013.
You're right.
So whenever they made the show, whenever they produced the show, the house was apparently up for sale but had not sold yet. So she was living in it by herself and still hearing weird voices and having all this paranormal activity, but just having to like kind of put up with it because she couldn't afford to move, because she had like put all of her life savings into the house, so she was kind of stuck. So I don't know what happened to her subsequently, but that was how they ended up. Like, nothing was resolved.
Yeah, and to tell you what, you guys know that, Jenny and I have both seen paranormal phenomenon. Me more than her. Mammoth Mountain Poltergeist. Had out-of-body experiences and a near-death experience. I've never seen anything that quite fits this pattern of what they're talking about. That's not poltergeist. If it happened, I'd have to see it myself to believe it. I'm not saying it didn't happen, it's just I've never seen anything like it. And that's with a lot of these fucking exorcism type cases and demonic. I've never seen anything that could call a demon. And a poltergeist is scary as shit. And physically moves more objects than what they're describing here. And seems stronger. So I don't know. It's easy to invent stories. Anybody can invent a story. When you see it, you believe it. I'd have to see this myself to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like I said, I'm not a big believer in, like, seeing apparitions and all that kind of stuff, but the thing that had the biggest whiff of bullshit in this, to me, was the whole reappearing Ouija board thing.
Yeah.
They seemed very sincere about it, though.
Well, it could be a misidentification. He might have had multiple Ouija boards, or he was finding the Ouija board in the garbage and bringing it back into the house. It's an easy explanation.
Yeah, and I mean, that seems the most likely scenario, to be honest.
The idea that a demon is bringing it back in using paranormal forces.
Sneak it with the Ouija board under his arm.
Probably not.
In the box and everything. That'd be fucking funny.
For all we know, this could have been just kind of a run-of-the-mill haunting, and then the people are kind of blowing it into something that it's not, and then there's a bunch of misidentifications, and, you threw the Ouija board out, but I went out and got it and brought it back in. You know what I mean? It could have been.
And then pretended that it's like, what? It was just here. Because, like I said, that's what I would do if I was an asshole teenager like that.
Right.
And like I said, that would be a really good prank if your parents actually did believe that Ouija boards were real, like it really worked.
I've never seen what I think Steve Merrill would call what he would call that a demonic haunting.
Yeah,
is that what he would call it? I've never seen one. He says they're real, but I've never seen one. I'd have to see it.
Yeah, I mean, so would I. Because, like you said, there's the reason that I'm like so skeptical of most paranormal shit is just because there's so many rational explanations for some of the stuff that happens that you really have to like go through all of those rational explanations before you can posit that it's a supernatural explanation. Like you said, reappearing Ouija boards, it's like that could be, it's much more likely that the kid was just digging it out of the trash or had more than one than it is like positing this whole, the ghost or the demon is bringing it back into the house. Or the
mixture of two. He had two. One got thrown away, and then he brought out the other one, and then he threw that one away, and he went out and got it.
Right.
So, he had two Ouija boards, and you saw it 3 times. So, something real simple like that. Doesn't mean that the other phenomena didn't happen. It's just that they're conflating. They're piling misidentifications on top of haunting or on visual sightings of something else. An apparition. See, that's another thing is I've never seen that type of a humanoid apparition. I've seen some blue haze and round balls that were like blue haze. But that was in a poltergeist environment. Years later, when I got out of the Army, me and a buddy of mine moved into a place in Boston. We've talked about it before. It was a bad house. Everybody that fucking came in there with us fucking was very uncomfortable in that house. There was something in that house. It felt like it was watching you. And it was bad. I felt like it attacked me, but I never saw anything.
Yeah.
It was just attacked by waves of fear and emotion. It felt like it was spinning around me, like it was getting ready to, like it was so over. This is just one. It did this only once. It was so oppressive that I was nearly losing consciousness. That's how intense it was. I had to fight to keep conscious. And that was the only thing it did, but it wasn't physical. And it never moved anything. And I never heard anything and never saw any apparitions, just feelings. It wasn't just me, it was other people too. Just a bad house. Never got down to it.
And that's the thing, you can never really prove something like that because it's so subjective.
Yeah.
Like, everybody just like, ooh, I don't like it in here.
Yeah.
Like, everybody feels weird about it. But see, that could be, you know, maybe there's some kind of like low-key like fucking gas leak in there. Or maybe there's some other kind of like physical thing that's making everybody feel like that.
Our girlfriends would come and spend the night, and we'd have to walk them down the hallway to the bathroom. So they'd go to the bathroom. I had to wait outside for them. They were scared.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been in a house
They didn't want to walk down the hallway by themselves. Yeah.
I mean, my grandfather's house that I lived in, you know, off and on, like when I was growing up, was creepy. Yeah. But I was never that scared, like that I couldn't go down the hall.
It was a big three-story. It was a big three-story Victorian house. That layout didn't make any damn sense in the house, and it had a basement. And it was over 100 at that time. That was in the 90s, mid 90s. It was over like 130, 140 years old at that time, and it was just a bad house. But you can't put your fingers on it, you know. And man, when it got cold, it got fucking cold as shit in there. It wasn't insulated well. And winter come, you were just fucking deathly cold in there. And when wind would fucking blow, the whole house would just kind of fucking, you could feel the whole house just shift. You know, because it was wood, you know. Yeah. And it felt like fucking wind was blowing through the house, you know, which it may have been. Little cracks in there, I don't know. But there was just, you couldn't sleep well. You had nightmares in there of fucking weird visions. Me, I just kept having visions of masses of starving puppies stuffed into all the damn pipes going down to fucking water pipes. That is fucked up.
I wonder what that
going down into the basement, a basement filled with fucking starving puppies and shit. And it was just a bad house.
I mean, what a fucked up image. I kind of want to like use that in a story one day.
The pipes were just jam-packed full of starving fucking crying puppies.
I wonder what that represented.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying that dreams necessarily have to represent anything. Sometimes they're just like fucking random, but
one of the closets had a fucking false back in the closet and pulled it out and fucking once I pulled it out, I said, "Oh shit!" I closed it. When it got Eric, said, "Eric, man, I found a secret door." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Dude, check this out." And I showed it to him, and he was shitting too, and opened it up. It was at the very top floor, and I go, "Dude, get a flashlight." And he went back and he got a flashlight. And while I was waiting for him by that fucking door open, just that blackness in there, I was fucking getting scared, man. For him to come back with that flashlight. And I shone the flashlight, and it was just a roof, and it was just a little triangular space about 2 feet wide and about 4 feet tall. And you could see the rungs of the fucking rungs of like floorboard type things, you know what I mean? You could step from one board to the next. When I shone the light on one side, it went all the way down the length of the house and there was nothing in there. And I shone the light the other way and there was nothing. All the way down at the end, there was a little box, cardboard box. And fucking I go, "Dude, look, there's a box back there." And he's fucking, "Oh shit!"
It's like this is like the start of every horror movie ever. We should not go and open that box under any circumstances.
And he's like, "Go get it."
You go get it.
Yeah, this is all right. We were both fucking out of the fucking 101st. We're like airborne fucking infantry. We're like, okay, I'll go get it. So I'm going down there and I'm fucking dodging the roofing nails, fucking going from one rung to the next. And I see that fucking box there. I'm going, shit, man. And fucking Eric's fucking with me. He goes, "Tell me what the baby looks like."
Yeah, I would have said severed head, but yeah, dead baby. That would have been my second choice.
I fucking reached down there and opened up the fucking box and put the flashlight in there. And it was empty. It just had a fucking newspaper in there, a single sheet of newspaper. So I just brought it back,
See, I wonder how that ended up in there. Like,
know.
what used to be in there?
I don't know. And the sheet of newspaper had a date, like, back in the 70s. Yeah.
Interesting. There wasn't even, like, a blood stain on it or anything.
It was an empty box with a single sheet of newspaper.
See, that's, in a way, that's almost more intriguing, because you're just kind of like, why is that there, then?
I don't know. It was something that, something had been packed in that box at one time, and then somehow the box got pushed. I think they were using it as storage.
Yeah.
And that was empty.
And that was just like, and they just left it.
That was empty, so they left it.
Yeah, everybody's making like 7 jokes. Like, what's in the box? What's in the box? It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head in there. That's what's in there.
I think at one time they had a bunch of storage stuff in there.
Yeah.
It was like a crawl space.
Yeah, it's probably not that mysterious.
No.
But see, I'm a horror writer, so it's like anytime something ambiguous happens like that, I always like unspool like a terrible horror story about it, because that's the fun part.
When I shone that flashlight all the way down there and saw that box, man, fucking, I was like, oh fuck, and he sees it. Fucking Eric sees it, and he's like, and he said this like the same thing. Oh,
seriously, I would shit a brick if I looked down and be like, it's like, I really want to know what's in there, but I really, really don't at the same time.
He's like, go get it. And I'm not gonna go no. I'm gonna look like a fucking pussy. I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll go get it.
See, that kind of shit, like I said, that kind of shit creeps me out. Because it's just, like, ambiguous. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it was empty...
It was empty.
I don't even want to say... I mean, obviously it'd be creepier if you found, like, a dead baby in there, like, or mummified.
Well, that's what he was saying. You know, he was going, there's going to be a baby in it.
But in some ways... I don't know. In some ways, it's pretty creepy, too, that it was just, like, empty.
I think it had something in it.
Yeah.
But what they did was they condensed the load. They took whatever was in there and put it in one of the other boxes. And put it in a
bigger box,
in the box that was next to it. So that way they didn't have to carry 2 boxes. That was the last box. So they just left the other box. Because they had to walk across those rungs.
Right.
You know?
You're no fun, Tom.
They were like 2x4s, and you had to only walk on the 2-inch section. And there was like a 1.5 feet in between them all, insulation. And you had to walk across those. There wasn't any floor. But they would put boxes in there strategically. You know what I mean? In between the rungs.
Yeah.
So they were standing there. So they had
kind of like in our old attic in our old house, which didn't really have a proper floor either.
Yeah.
And Justice for Me said, I would have expected the Necronomicon. Yeah. What would you have done if you'd have looked in that box and it was like the fucking skin book from The Evil Dead?
The real Necronomicon, the real skin book? I'd fucking laugh. But if it was the B. Dalton version,
yeah, then it wouldn't be
fucking Signet. You know what I mean? Fucking.
See, now, like, if we ever move out of the house, now I kind of want to do that. Like, I just want to leave like a box just in a random area for somebody to find, and I'll just put like some creepy shit in there, but like some creepy but like ambiguous shit.
Yeah,
that would be like a really good prank, and then somebody would find that and like fucking wet themselves.
Put that monster dildo in there.
The monster dildo. Yeah. And that's it.
That's it.
Just that one thing.
Yeah.
Why is this in the box? They would lose sleep like wondering like why that was like that. See, that would be like fucking hilarious. Well, see, it's just like the whole Ouija board gag.
Yeah.
Where you have more than one Ouija board and just like stash them around the house so like people think that they're returning. That's funny as shit. I'm going to have to do that. I don't know anybody that believes that they're real, really, but if I did, that really wholeheartedly believed it, yeah, that would be a great prank. Yeah. Tammy said, find somebody's old shit pot. Yeah. Ew. Yeah, that would be my luck. I'd look in there and fucking, yeah. All right, so I guess we're going to wrap it up for the evening because it's getting about that time.
Yep.
So, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this, journey into the paranormal and, all of the other tangents that we took. So, the next show is going to be the main show, obviously, and that's Wednesday night. And this should be a fun one. This was actually a recommendation by you guys, and it won in the poll by a very large margin. So, on Wednesday night, we're going to be talking about flat earthers. So, that should be really fun. Well, I don't know if, I haven't decided if we're going to talk about, like, I might get into, like, the background of, like, historical flat earth kind of stuff, but I kind of feel like it'd be more interesting to talk about modern flat earthers. And I found on Tubi, I think it originally was on Netflix, but it's on Tubi now for free. And there is a documentary about modern day flat earthers. And I think it's called Behind the Curve. Behind the Curve is, I think it's what it's called. Like, I watched like the first 5 or 10 minutes, like on my lunch hour today. And I was like, oh, that looks really good. So I'm going to have to like watch that like tomorrow or something like that and see what that's all about. But yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting into that nonsense. So that should be like really fun. So yeah, so that's going to be the show on Wednesday night. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. I don't know if Tom just went off to the bathroom or if he's going to like come back and like say goodbye. But if he's not, then I don't know. I'm not going to wait around. Oh, you are coming back.
Yeah, I had to go to the restroom.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know because I was like, I was like, should I end? Because he's like, I didn't know if you just like walked off without saying anything.
Well, you know, I was
like
thinking,
you
well,
do.
If she's off by the time I come back, then it's over. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'll be on here. We're on here for many times a week.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody's gonna be like, where are they?
Where'd they go?
Yeah. It's like, you know, probably most of the people are just like, Jesus, but when are you people gonna go away?
You're still at this?
But yeah, please get out of my face. Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully you guys can come by on Wednesday. So have a good rest of your evening tonight, and have a good day tomorrow. And we'll see you guys again on Wednesday night. Good night.